Pi's mainnet is live. Still, exchanges remain cautious due to token maturity and usage concerns. A fabricated screenshot circulated on April Fool's Day falsely claimed Binance apologized for delisting Pi as a prank. Centralized control risks arise from the core team's massive token holdings. Regulatory ambiguity continues to block listings on major exchanges. PiNetwork is a platform where users mine crypto using their phones. It uses the Stellar Consensus Protocol and a trust-based system called security circles that connects users globally to flag bad actors and keep the network secure. The goal is to make mining easy and open to everyone. Pi enclosed Mainnet period began in 2021. Pioneers have waited a few years for its latest major milestone. On February 20th, Pi launched its Mainnet. This partially enables external connectivity and allows Pi to be traded on exchanges. However, millions of users are still waiting to unlock their tokens, and optimism about PiNetwork's potential is visible on social media. Dr. Altcoin, for example, predicts a high value for Pi within the next 5 years. However, listings on major exchanges remain a struggle for the Pi network. This article discusses the main issues holding PiNetwork back, why major exchanges have not listed the token, and can it succeed without such listings. What are the key crypto exchange listing requirements? Major exchanges such as Binance, Coinbase, and Kraken have decided not to list Pi, raising important concerns. PiNetwork has encountered several obstacles, and each exchange has highlighted specific issues that influenced their decision. Before understanding the issues with PiNetwork, it is important to understand that exchanges typically follow strict rules before listing any token. A project must meet basic transparency, decentralization, legal compliance, and technical readiness standards. In general, before a token is listed, it must cover the following elements. Working mainnet, the project must run on a live, fully operational blockchain, not a testnet or restricted environment. Clear tokenomics. Exchanges look for well-defined supply structures, token distribution plans, and transparent economics that explain how the token functions in the ecosystem. Unlocked and transferable tokens. Tokens must be available for users to transfer and trade freely. Locked or restricted tokens often disqualify a project from listing. Technical security. A smart contract audit or thorough technical review helps ensure the network is secure and free from vulnerabilities. Regulatory compliance. Projects must follow laws in key jurisdictions including Know Your Customer or KYC and anti-money laundering or AML rules and avoid being classified as unregistered securities. Community and developer activity. A strong user base and active developers support signal long-term value. Projects with real use cases and ongoing development are taken more seriously. Transparency. The team should provide regular updates, public documentation, and clear communication about the project's progress and goals. Does PiNetwork meet major exchanges' token listing criteria? Before listing a token, major exchanges assess whether a project meets specific standards. These typically include factors such as mainnet readiness, token utility, decentralization, legal compliance, and community strength. PiNetwork claims to fulfill many of these requirements. Below is a breakdown of how Pi aligns with the key criteria used by leading exchanges. According to the official announcement, PiNetwork transitioned to the open network phase of its mainnet on February 20th, 2025. PiNetwork has indeed published and updated its roadmap and tokenomics. The network has also provided detailed information about the total supply, distribution, and mining mechanisms. The launch of PiNetwork's open mainnet enabled the transfer of Pi tokens, facilitating real-world transactions within its ecosystem. PiNetwork has highlighted that this development powered the Pi Fest commerce event, where users could utilize Pi for goods and services, indicating a step towards practical adoption. PiNetwork has also emphasized its commitment to security. In preparation for the open network phase, the team introduced new protections such as two-factor authentication, or 2FA, to prevent fraud during token migration. PiNetwork states that it uses a proprietary KYC solution to scalably verify the identity of millions of pioneers all over the world to onboard them to the Mainnet blockchain and ecosystem. PiNetwork has a large and active community of pioneers, with reports indicating millions of users worldwide. This strong user base reflects high levels of community engagement. The project has continued developing its ecosystem through tools like the Pi browser and Pi wallet, signaling ongoing developer activity. The project maintains official communication channels to provide updates and ensure transparency. Why PiNetwork isn't listed on top crypto exchanges? Despite PiNetwork's efforts to cover all the major elements theoretically supporting a listing on top exchanges, concerns around transparency, regulatory compliance, and liquidity remain. Each major exchange has its own standards and review process. Here's how the situation looks across Binance, Kraken, and Coinbase. Binance backed by users, blocked by standards. Binance has a community voting mechanism that allows members to vote for new tokens to be considered for listing. Pi's community support was clear, reaching 86%. However, Binance decided not to list it. A prank circulating around April Fool's Day added confusion. A fabricated screenshot shared by PiNetwork claimed Binance had apologized for delisting Pi using hashtags like #AprilFool and #prank among others. But Pi was never listed to begin with, and Binance did not respond officially. Binance's internal team considers multiple listing criteria, including tokenomics transparency. This remains an issue as the core team has yet to share full details about token distribution, locking, or burning mechanisms. Project maturity. Despite its large community, PiNetwork still faces challenges tied to the project's maturity, especially after its recent Mainnet launch. This highlights the need for Pi to demonstrate practical use cases beyond its mobile mining app. PiNetwork's regulatory status is still challenging as it navigates the global landscape of ambiguous and varied regulations. Without this information, Binance likely sees a risk of centralization or potential manipulation, which goes against its standards for user protection and long-term stability. Coinbase regulatory clarity for Pi. Coinbase's Asset Hub sets clear requirements like legal compliance, security, and market traction. PiNetwork's lack of transparency in its tokenomics and early-stage development likely fall short of these standards. The exchange also gives priority to tokens with a clear regulatory status, especially in the United States, where Coinbase is based. Pi's unclear legal standing remains a major barrier to listing. Still, Coinbase Chief Legal Officer Paul Grewal recently posted on X how Coinbase takes Pi Day at Coinbase very seriously. Kraken's position on PiNetwork listing. While user speculation on platforms like X and Reddit about the potential Pi listing on Kraken has been widespread, these discussions remain speculative. Concerns persist regarding Pi's liquidity and the centralized control of its token supply. Data shows 6 wallets linked to the PiNetwork team hold over 60 billion Pi, while another 20 billion are spread across thousands of connected wallets. This situation damaged the credibility of Pi's core team and added to the list of unresolved issues. What factors influence PiNetwork's success without major exchange listings? Several key factors influence PiNetwork's ability to succeed without major exchange listings: community support and internal ecosystem. A significant portion of the PiNetwork community has preferred focusing on internal development over external exchange listings. In a poll conducted by Newsway, approximately 61% of PiNetwork pioneers supported delisting PiCoin from exchanges, aligning with the core team's strategy to prepare for the open Mainnet upgrade. Challenges in securing exchange listings. PiNetwork has encountered obstacles in obtaining listings on major exchanges. For instance, Binance opted to conduct a community vote before considering the token's listing, reflecting a cautious approach. Development of dApps. The core team aimed to have at least 100 dApps ready before the open Mainnet launch to ensure a robust ecosystem. As of February 2025, approximately 80 to 85 dApps have been developed, indicating progress toward this goal. While major exchange listings can enhance a cryptocurrency's visibility and liquidity, PiNetwork's emphasis on community consensus, internal ecosystem development, and regulatory compliance suggests a strategy that does not solely rely on such listings. By building a strong, self-sustaining network with active user engagement and a diverse range of dApps, PiNetwork aims to establish a solid foundation that could support its success, irrespective of major exchange listings. The future of Pi. It is important to note that some exchanges, such as OKX and BitGet, listed Pi after the launch of its mainnet, while others remain cautious, like Kraken, Coinbase, and Binance. For example, Ben Zhou, co-founder and CEO of Bybit, has publicly stated he believes Pi is a scam. He posted, adding that Bybit will not list a scam. PiNetwork has made progress by launching